What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to take a look at the markets because I know the popular things right now. The fake recession, Trump is going to shoot it up. We got Nvidia, wasn't the savior. We got stagflation. We have everyone's just opinion right now. We have a lot of noise. Let me scoot that back a little bit. Let's just jump into markets. Let's just take all emotion out of it. Just kind of look at the charts and see what's going on just in general. Now, I am still bullish the dollar. So I'm actually long the U.S. dollar Japanese yen. It does need to go a little bit further. It did nothing today, so I'm looking for a bounce out of that zone. That's that. As far as Bitcoin goes, today we had a little bit of a indecisive day. We jumped up, actually tagged that yellow zone. For anybody that's any traders in there, we jumped up, hit that yellow zone, sold back off. Now we're bouncing kind of along this trend line. Now I'd be very careful if you're playing this trend line. Okay, you can draw lines, you can sell yourself a position on any chart, and right now that's probably what you're doing with Bitcoin. So I would caution that. However, if we pull back to a this trend line, yeah, I might be all right with that. If we just kind of head on this path all the way down, that puts it at 45,000 May 26th. Some of you guys would. First of all, Mara would be in trouble on that one. It cost them $46,000 to make a Bitcoin. Anyway, neither here nor there. I would just be cautious. I do want to say that I think we're probably about to rally. But be careful because the one thing... So right now what you're seeing... I mean, I've seen every YouTuber talk about it's crashing. Maybe it's all just clickbait and thumbnails. So I don't actually watch them. Not to be mean, I don't have all the time in the world to watch everybody. I've just seen the opinions. Everyone thinks we're crashing. This is actually a crash in March that I talked about last year. I don't think we're there yet. And we've talked about this, how this, I think, is a 5% dip. And we're at 5% right now. We're at like 4.6, actually. This is the S&P right now. Go from the top. Go from the all-time highs. Bring it down to this low right here. 4.7% down. Happens to be right at a zone right here. Now, the futures, as they opened up, did gap up. Currently a little bit red. But I'm kind of thinking I would be looking for the bounce right now. I certainly would not be buying puts at this moment. I'm looking for, if I'm short anything, I would just be trailing it, As far as going long, those are knife catches. You guys should know what to do when it comes to a knife catch. You guys should know where your stops are, your risk. What if I'm wrong? What if we get into waterfall mode? It will be your fault if you're the one still holding it as it does come down. If this is the top and this is a correction, we're a quarter of the way there. Okay? That's a long way to go. Now, whether this is going to be a rip-your-face-off rally or some kind of relief rally, kind of still in the cards. That's assuming I'm right. Let's look at the really stupid indicator. Right now, on the daily, not even oversold. As far as the 4-hour goes, we are a little bit oversold. Let's check out the hourly. Hourly just now getting there. They're doing a good job cooling off indicators before it does sell off. Anyway, I kind of think we see I do think we see a rally. Look at the NASDAQ right here. Just weakness. Now, we sold off, right? As soon as we broke that zone, we played the ping pong game. Let's zoom in so you guys can see. There's wicks here. We have to drop down a little bit further. Played the back and forth game. Finally broke that through. And kind of right now, honestly, making a bear flag below that yellow zone. Kind of talking about the S&P. It needs to get above this zone now first. All these will be kind of crucial levels. Let's see where we're at from all-time highs to here as far as the NASDAQ goes. Let's go here all the way down, 7.6%. Now, I know some of your favorites. Real quick, actually, let's dive into the expected moves real quick. Looking at that, we're at 2 standard deviations right now. So, as far as delta hedging goes, maybe now, this is what I talk about when you get that vacuum. Maybe we rein it back in. Looks like they're kind of holding it right here. But all of a sudden, you have all these put contracts that when they were bought were just useless. Gamblers, right? But all of a sudden, not so useless anymore. A little bit closer to at the money now. Now we got to hedge a little bit. Didn't mean to click that. And so if there is delta hedging going on, it just kind of sends it that much faster into the next standard deviation. So we could just park it right here. It being Thursday, I'm kind of looking for a take profit Friday from the short side, so that would kind of bring it back up. If it were to melt down tomorrow, then I actually would take some longs over the weekend, but that, again, would be just a setup for a relief rally. The rip-your-face-off rallies are the ones that will just destroy shorts. And if you do, maybe you agree with what I'm saying, you want to take some longs, get ready for a setup like this. Sells off, Now, this is what happens. It's like, oh, it sells off. So I went long Friday afternoon. Monday, we gap down. And then you panic sell. You close it, and it rips right back up. So all things are on the table if you are to take a position like that. This is nothing you want to be jacking around with. If you struggle with bag holding, not managing your risk correctly, or just kind of anything, you don't have it all buttoned up, you're asking for trouble. Staying on the sidelines, it is a position, and some of you guys should take. Let's check out some of the big names, if you will. Nvidia played the back and forth game, ultimately dropped all the way down to that zone. Did we even hang up? Kind of. We had to just do a quick little reminder. Hey, real quick, let's pay homage to Don. That is the yellow box. And then just went zone to zone. Melted it right back down. So we're kind of right at the expected move, right where market makers thought we would be. Again, I kind of think the fireworks are done. Maybe we kind of send it right back up into that zone tomorrow. Tesla. Tesla. Look at this thing. Here's 1, 2, working on 3 standard deviations down. This thing melting. I looked at selling some 255 puts. That's kind of where that's the only thing I would do right now. That was for this week. It just didn't pay enough. I would be cautious. I think some people might talk about this trend line play right here. Again, not one I would really be too concerned with. Now, if you want to know the trend line I would play, where I would park some money in Tesla, it's this one right here. If we get along that, closer to that level, we're good. But again, and I've had to say this a lot in the past few videos, on momentum trades, right? The momentum doesn't go away, it just shifts direction, and that's all this was. It got carried away, full send, and then melted it right back down. In fact, we talked about this back here. So if you want to go back to these dates, go to around April, and there's another one right here in June. We have to stretch this one out to see. There was this move right here, which looks like market manipulation, something market movers do to drop the orders, get everybody stops the tag, sends it down, and then they buy it up cheaper, sends it up. That's what makes this move right here. They don't do this for pennies. They don't do this for a couple dollars. If they're doing this on a ticker like Tesla, they're interested in a much bigger move. We got a smaller version over here where they dropped it down, kind of stop hunt everybody, and then grabbed it all up, and then we went ballistic. We went nuts. And then just eventually shot all the way up here. So whoever made that move probably made a killing, and they're probably just unloading it right now. Laughing all the way to the bank. I'm sure everyone here is Elon this, Elon that. Waymo is going to do something. And as far as my opinion, I do have an opinion coming out as far as Tesla and Google. But it's going to be a very polarizing. It's going to be with Mike, and his opinion is very different than mine. But as far as miles driven and the data Tesla has, you can't beat that. So Google might beat them to the road, but I think Tesla's tech will ultimately be better. We'll deep dive into that later. As far as any actionable plays right now, this is a spicy one. Let's check out the RSI on this channel. The really stupid indicator. That's what RSI stands for. Because even if you're really stupid, you can figure this one out. We are oversold on the daily. Weekly, nothing. Just getting warmed up. 4 hour, yeah, a little oversold. Hourly, nope, already back in. Already cooled that one off. Be careful with that one, because what you might do is you just saw the hourly RSI wasn't oversold, so you just click back to the 4 hour. Again, you can sell yourself a position and make it look good. But really, when things get oversold like that, it might not be the time to go short. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the time to buy. And when I say cooling off indicators, they go sideways. Your EMAs catch up. Your RSI cools off. Your MACDs, the stochastics, everything just kind of chills out, gets back to a level playing field, and then it's back to the races, and then you're right back selling off. So I do think Tesla is one of the sharper knives right now. But if you've been trading Tesla for any amount of time, this volatility is just kind of a normal deal. It's not Bitcoin moving $10,000 in a minute, but it's a close second. Now let's check out Mara real quick. Mara did jump up to 14 today. Look at that. So we actually jumped up just shy of that zone, but ultimately this one held, brought it back. After the earnings they had yesterday, I'm kind of excited for Mara. I haven't done anything I didn't add on yet. That is in the pipeline though. After blowing out, everyone thought they were going to miss. Mara said we're going to miss by 13 cents. Analysts thought 38 cents. They came out at $1.37. Get out of here. They're just trolling you guys at this point. We're just a little old Bitcoin miner. We don't know anything. We got a data center. Gotcha, suckers. Anybody watching numbers? Again, it's why I don't go over it too much in detail. With earnings like that, you probably would have thought, without looking at a chart, it'd be way up here, right? Blowout earnings. Anyway, earnings are that's that binary event. You still vote with your dollars. That's what everybody did. But when it comes time to maybe value things, when the whole market's overvalued, and everyone's talking about everything's just up, that's the time to probably chill out, because if they start selling off, everything sells off with it. It's not the buying time. So to switch back to what I said the other day, just use the S&P as your indicator. Right now, everyone's selling. If you're going to go against the grain, you need to know what that means fully before you do. But right now, the trend is your friend until it stabs you in the back and has a rip your face off rally. John Travolta and Nicolas Cage style. I was like, who played those guys? Comment down below if you know what movie I just referenced. If you don't, how old are you, 12? Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. Do all the cool stuff. Like, subscribe, follow. We got a video every day coming out now. So I need comments. I need that criteria, what you guys are interested in. And I'll see you in the next one.